Fargo-Moorhead.
And welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. It's 1:04 right now, 12 degrees outside Fargo with a southeast wind at 8 miles per hour. We saw some snow this morning. We'll touch on that here in just a moment. I'm Meteorologist Justin Storm with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and our one and only amazing, very talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. And we thank you again for joining us today. This is Weather and Ag in Focus. Dean, Bridgette, how is your day going? Everyone get into work fine this morning? We had some slippery roads, a little reduced visibility, and some light to moderate snow at times around the area.
Not too much, though. About a couple inches throughout much of the area. But now we're even starting to see a few peaks of blue sky out there. So.
Oh, isn't that refreshing?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to see some more snow, though, tonight.
A little bit.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Very good point, Bridgette.
Okay, so we've got a little bit now. It's the nice, pretty, fluffy stuff, which I will go home and be blowing out of the way.
Leaf blower snow.
Yeah, it is. This is going to be easy stuff, which is good because I'm in charge of snow removal tonight. So I got to take care of that.
But is there heavier snow in the forecast?
I don't know. Is that why you were buttering me up on the intro? What are you going to tell me?
I don't know. Don't listen. I don't know.
Well, between today,
You better know.
I got no idea if it's going to snow or not. What do you mean it's snowing outside?
well, between today and then tomorrow when we have our LRC special, we're going to know more.
We are, and we're working on the calendar, and we're going to break down tomorrow during the LRC weather special of when we are expecting the possibility of bigger storms, Arctic outbreaks, drier streaks, maybe a few warm-ups during this upcoming winter season. All of that coming up tomorrow between 2 and 5 o'clock right here on WDAY on the Jay Thomas Show for tomorrow. So we invite people, if you can't call in, email your questions at weather@flagfamily.com or ag@flagfamily.com. We'll be going over not only what to expect this winter and upcoming spring, but what does it look like for our ag community? Are we going to go through another drought season, or are we going to have just enough moisture to squeak by, or is it going to be a late planting season like last year?
Just remember, it's not just about what happens in the field, but our livestock folks as well.
Right.
What this could, there's all sorts of stories already to be prepared for potential dust pneumonia in calves. We've already got pregnant cows. And so if grasses don't come back on the pasture very well, how does that, what's the nutrient deficiency look like for the pregnant mama cows, that kind of thing.
People are going to want to know if we're going to have to be dealing with another April blizzard like last year. That put a big damper into calving season.
Mm-hmm. Should I be thinking about buying hay if I don't know what my hay crop's going to look like? So a lot of planning decisions can be made after we get through tomorrow. Not all of them,
and that'll be
a good idea.
Tomorrow, 2 to 5 o'clock on the Jay Thomas Show right here on WDAY. We'll also be live streaming that to WDAY 970 AM on Facebook as well as YouTube. And if you're not able to join us live, there will be a recording that will be on our website, WDAYradionow.com. You can also go to WDAY Facebook, or we will also put an uploaded recording of that LRC special on Weather and Ag in Focus's YouTube and Facebook page as well after we're done with the show. But we'd really encourage you to just join in live because there's going to be a lot of great information. And if you hear something that, wait, what did they just say? Or you want us to explain something? Or, hey, I got a date in this area. I want to know what maybe I could be expecting. Give us a phone call during the show. It's your opportunity. We'll have 3 meteorologists and ag director. Give us those questions. We'll answer them the best that we can. 701-293-9000. That's also the phone number you'll use to call this station right now to get on Weather and Ag in Focus as well. If you have any questions or comments or just want to join the conversation today, we got a lot of things in store today, but we're going to get you updated on ABC News. Then Weather and Ag in Focus will return.
From ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. Runoff election today in Georgia for the U.S. Senate seat currently held by Democrat Raphael Warnock. The candidates campaigned well into last night. Warnock in Atlanta.
I want you to vote like democracy depends on it. Vote like health care depends on it. Vote like a woman's right to choose depends on it, because it does. You ought to vote like it's an emergency.
Herschel Walker was in Kennesaw, Georgia.
It is time for us to stand up but stand together, because what the left has tried to do and the guy I'm running against have tried to separate us. That's right. Well, we won't let that happen.
Polls open in 2 hours. No school again today in Moore County, North Carolina, where more than 30,000 homes and businesses are going into a third straight day with no electricity after someone shot up 2 electric power substations. Police have not identified suspects or motive. The FBI involved. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby.
We've obviously been monitoring this very, very closely, and we're in contact with local officials. In fact, local officials and specifically local law enforcement are getting federal support on the investigations.
Tampa, Florida Police Chief Mary O'Connor resigned yesterday after police body cam imagery showed her flashing her badge to get out of a traffic ticket involving a golf cart with no license plate that at the time was being driven by her husband. Her family reports versatile actress Kirstie Alley died after a short battle with cancer. She was Rebecca Howe in Cheers and starred in the Look Who's Talking movies. Her first feature film role, you have to go all the way back to 1982, Lieutenant Savick in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan as a commander in training.
I don't believe this was a fair test of my command abilities.
And why not?
Because there was no way to win.
Kirstie Alley was 71. You're listening to ABC News.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Hi, this is Mary Walter. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money, from discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most. AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite, is that AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
Terry, so talk about doing business with DJ Coulter and American Family Insurance.
DJ is one of those insurance agents that's always going to be there for you. And he's always got great advice for a young family starting out, for an old family. We've got all our cars through DJ, our RVs and our boats. We took out a couple cash value life insurance policies, wanted to do long-term after we retire. DJ helped us through the steps on that.
DJ Coulter, American Family Insurance, 235-6641, djcoulter.com.
Hi, I'm Kevin Wolf, president of Laney's. Are you considering replacing your furnace this winter? If so, you need to consider Laney's, the only company in town that offers a lifetime guarantee. Our guarantee states that if anything ever goes wrong with your furnace, Laney's will fix it for free. Day or night, no cost to you. That's Laney's legendary lifetime guarantee.
Annual check and service required. Call Laney's today for more details at 237-0543.
It's just great. No matter what season it is, you want an ice-cold beverage that's not going to slow you down. You want a Mick Ultra or a Mick Ultra Pure Gold. Michelob Ultra is the superior light beer that goes down smooth with only 96 calories and 2.6 carbs. And Michelob Ultra Pure Gold is brewed with organic grains from the finest fields to craft a crisp taste with no artificial flavors or colors. And only 85 calories and 2.5 carbs. You make the winning choice. Mick Ultra or Mick Ultra Pure Gold.
If you're looking for honest, dependable, over-the-top customer service at affordable prices, you'll want to do business with Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, North Dakota. Welton's is a name you've grown to trust, proudly serving the area for 50 years. Welton's Tire always works hard for customer satisfaction and service. They offer brands for every make. If you need tires, repair, maintenance, or on-farm tire service, contact Welton's Tire on Main Street in Lisbon. Tell them Beth sent you. Online at weltonstire.net.
The news is brought to you by the North Dakota oil and natural gas industry, advancing the possibilities. Learn more at ndpetroleumfoundation.org.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. 1:13 now this afternoon. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and Ag Director Bridgette Readel. We'd encourage you to join in on our conversation. Ask any questions or comments. Give us a phone call. We'd want to hear from you. 293-9000, or you can always reach us via email during or after the show at weather@flagfamily.com or ag@flagfamily.com. Those are also the emails that you could use if you want to send in some questions ahead of time for the upcoming LRC Winter Special tomorrow, 2 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right after Weather and Ag in Focus. Myself, Dean, and Bridgette, along with Chief Meteorologist, well, I guess you could say former Chief Meteorologist Gary Lezak from Kansas City. He's retiring here in just a couple of days, so
if
he'll be joining us.
Chief Meteorologist, is he like General Meteorologist?
I think you could just say Overlord Meteorologist.
Wait till Gary hears that.
He's going to like that one. So he'll be joining us as well. So a lot of fun things, a lot of big minds coming together for one big show on what to expect through the rest of this winter into the spring, and we might touch a little bit into the upcoming summer as well, but should be a very fun conversation. And speaking of weather, had a little bit of snow that came through the area last night into this morning. Looks like there might be another round of snow coming through tonight. Dean, what's going on with that forecast out there?
Yeah, a little clipper system came through this morning with about 2.5 inches of snow here in the FM area. A few higher amounts. I've seen a few 3-4 inch amounts off in Lakes Country. And this next little clipper system is going to be favoring the 94 corridor and points southward. So areas down around Wahpeton, Siston, then points westward right along that South Dakota border, going to pick up anywhere between 3, maybe 4 inches of snow overnight tonight and tomorrow. I think Fargo, Moorhead's going to be right on the northern end of that, and areas in the Northern Valley not picking up much, if anything. So we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow. And then Arctic air spills. And we'll have wind chills tomorrow morning about 15, 25 below.
But this is short-lived, right?
It is.
From what you guys have said.
Yeah, it's just, yep. And then we start to warm up Thursday, Friday, about 20 Thursday, into the mid-upper 20s on Friday. And then maybe a little light snow system on Saturday as the system passes to our south. But temperatures warm up over the weekend to near 30, 32 degrees. So we'll start to melt away a little bit of this snow, especially on some of the side streets. And then next week. So according to the LRC, and I had to double check because I don't remember a storm system this big.
Is this
that was forecasted in our area?
Is this going to be the flurry of note paper and notes that I saw you guys doing in the weather office? Is that what this is related to?
It's pretty close to it.
Okay, what's up?
So we've got a system coming in next week, and our models are just picking up on it, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it was in the LRC cycle, the first cycle, and it went to our south. And there was severe weather down to our south. I think we got a little bit of rain out of it, didn't we, Justin?
We did. We
Not
picked
much.
up about a nickel of rain.
Yeah. So it wasn't much, but it was there. And it was down to our south, and by south I'm saying Central Plains. Well, this time it's strong, and it's a little further displaced north. At least that's how our models are forecasting it now. It could still well, in fact, track to the south of us. But current indications are bringing a pretty healthy storm system in here Monday, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday of next week, but for sure Monday, Tuesday of next week. And could see quite a bit of snow with that. Might start out rain, snow, and could be some severe weather into portions of, you think southern Minnesota might get in on that? Iowa, Nebraska?
I think it probably stick a little further down to, that's just my thought, probably Iowa, Nebraska.
Iowa,
I
Nebraska?
don't know if it's going to stretch all the way
southern
up.
Minnesota.
But,
depending on the track of the system.
So for this kid who's going to Central South Dakota next week, you're saying leave Sunday, perhaps?
Yeah, just keep up to date with
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check with us over the weekend.
You are my own personal meteorology and road report team, so yes, I will.
So that's one of the storm. I'll call that our wild card storm. There's 2 wild card storm systems on the LRC cycle. One would be this one, depending on how this pans out, and the other one would be that blizzard that hit out in Bismarck back in November. Yes. Those are our 2 wild card storms of the LRC cycle throughout this upcoming winter and into spring. Outside of that, they're just real minor systems that come our way, and nothing, no real big storm systems expected out of these are our 2 wild cards. We'll see how much snow we end up getting out of it. And again, we'll kind of detail when we can expect these storm systems to roll around through cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4, all the way through spring coming up tomorrow. I'm telling you, this is it's going to be a great show tomorrow.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
This is our Christmas.
I have all my
We're opening a present early.
Predictions are written down. I'm going to be able to make guesses on what we have for total overall snowfall for the winter based off of this, etc.
I'll be curious because I haven't. We'll see what Gary thinks. He was pretty close last year. He was within a few inches last year.
He was very close.
We will see what I have my thoughts. And Justin has his thoughts. We'll see how Gary compares. He does this. He did this with his other meteorologists on staff.
He's gonna agree with me.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you slide him a little
Extra
check?
cash?
A little check in the mail?
No.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to just get off that conversation altogether because we have a guest coming up here.
We do.
In our next segment. Bridgette, do you want to introduce who our guest is going to be when we come back?
We are going to visit with Alicia Harstad. Alicia is the NDSU extension agent in Stutsman County. And first of all, what's an extension agent? Because I talk about them all the time, but maybe not everybody's familiar with that role in the state of North Dakota. And also, we're going to talk about the Central Dakota Ag Day that's coming up December 16th, I believe, out in Carrington, North Dakota. We will do that right after this.
From the North Country, high school hockey tonight. Moorhead at Roseau. This is Larry Knudsen for 970 WDAY 93.1 FM. This Section 8 matchup is a preliminary game to what we will see in February. It's hard-hitting. It's fast-paced. It's Moorhead at Roseau, 6 o'clock tonight on 970 WDAY 93.1 FM.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
When my little girl has a stuffy nose, she just can't rest. Mom! And neither can I. So I use Vicks Sinex Children's Saline Nasal Mist to instantly clear her mucus right at the source. It provides fast, drug-free relief from everyday stuffy noses. It's relief for both of us.
Vicks Sinex Children's Saline. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey Flag listeners, this is Spencer Brandt from Media Shack LLC. We are your one-stop shop for business branding in Fargo. Whether it's decals, banners, vehicle graphics, custom apparel, and much more, we do it and we do it in-house. Check out our website at MediaShackFargo.com for more information, or on social media at MediaShackFargo. That's MediaShackFargo.com for all your business branding needs.
Do you suffer from dental pain, your mouth hurts, or broken teeth? Is dental pain keeping you from feeling your best? Do you suffer from dental anxiety or fear of the dentist? Please listen carefully to find out if you're a candidate for our unique approach to get rid of your dental anxiety, heal your pain, and restore your smile. Find out now by calling 701-515-9850. Dr. Werman has been treating patients with dental anxiety for over 18 years. Our office uses the latest dental technology and anesthetic solutions to keep you comfortable, at ease, and relieve your pain. If you put off necessary dental treatment, your dental pain won't go away. It can lead to serious health problems and complete tooth loss. So call now to see if you qualify at 701-515-9850. Again, 701-515-9850. Call now to relieve your pain and restore your smile today.
And welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director, joined by this classy meteorology staff, Dean Wysocki, who's Chief Meteorologist, along with Justin Storm, Meteorologist Extraordinaire.
You hear that, Dean? We're classy.
Yeah. What else would I call you?
Does she know us?
I thought she was talking about someone else, maybe on the TV side.
I thought somebody else walked in the door.
I'm amping you up for tomorrow when you're really going to shine, gentlemen, really going to shine. So today we have a guest with us, and that is Alicia Harstad. Alicia is the county agent in Stutsman County, North Dakota. And I talk a lot about the NDSU Extension Service, but you guys know what an extension agent really is? Anyone?
You know, I guess I don't exactly know,
Bueller?
Bridgette.
I think you're going to help us out, though, aren't you?
I think Alicia's going to help us out. So, Alicia, how are you today?
Good, good. And, I actually am the extension agent in Barnes County now. So I switched counties here, counties a few months ago. So
I'm one off, but they're next to each other. It's not bad.
one off. I know. I've been able to inch my way a little bit closer to home. So, but yes, what is an extension agent? So I'm the Ag and Natural Resources extension agent here in Barnes County. And so we get to do outreach education in everything that falls under that Ag and Natural Resources umbrella. So agronomy and livestock and horticulture, and then 4-H. So 4-H is NDSU Extension's Youth Development Program. So we get to do meetings like we're going to talk about here at Central Dakota Ag Day, but we also get to do youth programming as well too. So for example, this summer I did a junior crop scout school for any youth that were junior high to high school age that were interested in learning more about agronomy. And then we also answer questions one-on-one. So if you've got a question that you're wondering if you can get some information for, you can always call the extension office and we can help you with that. We also can, part of my job is going out and looking at trees if people have a horticulture issue as well too. So we get to do a little bit of everything.
So the way I look at Alicia, she's kind of like the encyclopedia for agriculture, right? When we have Randy Nelson on with Clay County Extension as an educator, Randy's great at forestry, floriculture, horticulture, etc. Alicia's background's a little bit bigger when it comes to livestock, etc. So I got to ask, what's been the craziest question you've gotten in your career as an extension agent that just made you say, wow, how am I going to do this?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably have to go with somebody called and asked about shrimp farming in North Dakota, and instantly my mind was going to Forrest Gump and what are you talking about? But actually apparently you can raise shrimp in large tanks and feed them soybean meal. So he was trying to come up with a different way of utilizing soybean meal. So didn't know that.
Who would have guessed?
Wow.
Has he been successful? Do we know if the shrimp farm is in existence?
I don't know because I didn't follow up. I should, but apparently there's shrimp farming in Minnesota. I didn't realize that. So I was able to, through the network of, that's the other thing is we have a really strong network. So of course I'll be honest, I don't know anything about shrimp farming, but I was able to get in contact with some of our entrepreneur specialists who knew some people in Minnesota, and there is tank fish shrimp farming in Minnesota.
Okay, so what's your favorite area to get questions? Livestock, gardens? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm biased because I have a weed science background, so I do really like the weed ID questions. So I get them from homeowners to farmers to anybody, but usually we get the random things that people don't see very often, and so every day you get to learn something new.
So speaking of weed ID, I happen to know that Alicia went with a whole busload of county agents down to Nebraska. Doesn't that sound like a good road trip? You, the county agents. This is suddenly an episode of Green Acres waiting to unfold. But y'all went down there to see Palmer amaranth when we were first discovering what a difficult problem that was going to be in the fields.
Yes.
And tell me about that trip, because I remember seeing the picture with you, and it's not like you're overly tall, but the 12-foot Palmer amaranth next to you sort of dwarfed you.
Yeah, because, I guess I'm probably actually 5'4". I was 5'6" in basketball, but there was a little stretch.
Rounding up.
But yeah, but it was a really tall Palmer amaranth. And the biggest problem with Palmer amaranth really is its growth rate. So it is a relative. It's in the pigweed family. So we have some of those other pigweeds in North Dakota that we've been struggling with for a long time. Water hemp is another really close relative of Palmer amaranth that we've been struggling with, but really the big difference between water hemp and Palmer amaranth is that Palmer amaranth can grow 2 to 3 inches per day. So it really narrows down your weed control options with your spraying days, because as we all know, as we're sitting here with meteorologists, there's not very many good spraying days as far as wind goes and temperatures and some of those things.
Not in North Dakota.
Not here. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
And to that extent, I know we're going to talk about the Central Dakota Ag Day here probably after we do our bottom of the hour stop, but just to put that in perspective, you guys, when you have to spray certain herbicides, okay, you have to have enough days that, first of all, you can only, and I'm going to use dicamba as an example, the cutoff date is June 30. So from the time that you plant until June 30, think how many days that's going to be. So let's let's say you got to plant like the 10th of May. Now you have to have a day that has below 10 mile an hour of wind, but above 3. And you have to have the right wind direction, depending on the field that you're going to spray. Your temperatures cannot be above 85 degrees.
Yeah, she's asking for a lot.
This is a lot.
Yeah. I always put a lot on you guys. And that's what we have to face sometimes when we're spraying herbicides. Those are some of the criteria we have to fall under. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes, you're very helpful over there.
Yeah. I want to go back.
And then that's even... Oh, go ahead.
You were saying that Palmer, was it growing 2 to 3 inches per day?
Yes.
It can, if in the right growing conditions.
So that's like 1 to 2 feet of weed per week.
Yes. Now, think
you
about...
let that go for a month.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. It's like a whole new expression for growing like a weed.
Yeah, because there's been actually some fields where they found Palmer because it was actually sticking out of the corn canopy, and we don't know how tall a corn canopy is, so that just gives you some image of how aggressive a weed it can be.
It's tremendous. Well, we are going to come back. Our guest today is Alicia Harstad. She is the Barnes County Extension Agent for North Dakota State Extension Service. We want to visit about the Central Dakota Ag Day that's coming up in Carrington, North Dakota this month in December, and we will do that right after this.
Hi, this is Kevin Piper with Piper's Auction Company. Piper's upcoming December auctions include 280 acres of exceptional cropland in Clay County near Barnesville and Cragness, Minnesota, 295 acres of cropland in Ransom County, 320 acres of cropland in Lemoore near Dickey, North Dakota, 780 acres of cropland near Chaffee, North Dakota, and Cass County, 503 acres in Bottineau County near Westover, and an excellent line of gravel trailers and semi for DG Trucking in Bismarck. View these auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pipers.com.
The famous chips. The potato chip, the chocolate chip, the computer chip, the poker chip, the paint chip, and the windshield chip. Glass Doctor of Fargo Moorhead wants to remind you that the difference in temperature outside and inside your vehicle can make a little chip grow into a real budget buster. So make your repair or replacement appointment today at Glass Doctor of Fargo Moorhead. Call or go online at glassdoctor.com/Fargo. That's glassdoctor.com/Fargo.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint.
Are you utilizing your storage space as efficiently as possible? If you have 8-foot shelving under 16-foot ceilings, you're only using half the space you're paying for. But to use that space the right way requires the right equipment, and you need someone knowledgeable you can trust. Here's Kari Score, whose dad Nels started Dakota Storage Products in West Fargo over a quarter of a century ago.
My dad always said, if you're paying for the space, you might as well use it. It's a simple idea, but it isn't always that easy. That's why we have been here for more than 25 years, helping businesses, farmers, and everyone in our region make their storage space smart, safe, and efficient.
For the largest inventory of pallet racks on the Northern Prairie, along with shelving, loading dock equipment, cabinets, bins, warehouse ladders, and thousands of other storage solutions available, come see the experts at Dakota Storage Products in West Fargo. They'll help you make your storage space fit your needs. Call 701-281-1209 or visit dakotastorageproducts.com on the web. Their warehouse is in West Fargo. Dakota Storage Products, they'll help you store stuff smart.
If you're in charge of your company's holiday party or event, you want the food to be delicious and the atmosphere to be great. O'Kelly's to the rescue. At O'Kelly's, they can help host a holiday or end-of-year party for $5 to $250, or for any number at your business or wedding venue, and they can cater any kind of food. Give them a theme, and they will create the menu. Tell them what food you want, and they can make it happen. Call O'Kelly's to reserve your date. For details, go online to o'kellysfargo.com.
Oil and natural gas create opportunities for North Dakota. In fact, over 50,000 North Dakotans have good-paying jobs thanks to the oil and natural gas industry. Real people finding prosperity in their careers and bringing it home for their families and communities. It's one of the many ways oil and natural gas are making life better in North Dakota for generations. North Dakota's oil and natural gas, advancing the possibilities.
Do you suffer from dental pain, your mouth hurts, or broken teeth? Is dental pain keeping you from feeling your best? Do you suffer from dental anxiety or fear of the dentist? Please listen carefully to find out if you're a candidate for our unique approach to get rid of your dental anxiety, heal your pain, and restore your smile. Find out now by calling 701-515-9850. Dr. Werman has been treating patients with dental anxiety for over 18 years. Our office uses the latest dental technology and anesthetic solutions to keep you comfortable, at ease, and relieve your pain. If you put off necessary dental treatment, your dental pain won't go away. It can lead to serious health problems and complete tooth loss. So call now to see if you qualify at 701-515-9850. Again, 701-515-9850. Call now to relieve your pain and restore your smile today.
Welcome back. Here we are on WDAY, Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel Ag Director, along with Meteorologist Extraordinaire Justin Storm, Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, because as I called you earlier, the classy crack meteorology staff. I'll keep adding adjectives until we get to it tomorrow.
Crack is classy now. It's like box wine.
Everything old is new again.
There we go.
That's why I'm here. All right, so we have a guest with us today. That is Alicia Harstad. Alicia is the Barnes County, North Dakota Extension Agent for North Dakota State University. And we want to talk about the Central Dakota Ag Day that is coming up in Carrington. Well, what are all the details, Alicia? What do we need to know?
Yeah, so we're excited to offer this program again. I think it's the 8th year that we've done this, and it's been organized by Foster, Eddy, Barnes, Griggs, Sheridan, Stutsman counties, as well as the Carrington Research Extension Center staff. So there's a lot of people that have been helping plan this event, and we basically broken this event down into 3 different sections. We have an agronomy section, an ag life section, and then also a livestock section. So we have several breakout sessions throughout the day. We start at 9 o'clock with coffee and donuts, and then we will start off with our keynote speaker, who is Doug Beekler, who is a farmer rancher who ended up in a baler accident and lost his right hand. So his title of his talk is Life Left-Handed. And he's just going to talk a little bit about his story and put a plug in there for farm safety.
And he also, after that accident that Doug had, not only did he have to learn how to move life left-handed, but that was in haying season, partway through his growing season. He had to have Farm Rescue come in and help out to be part of the harvest that year for him. Wow. So he's got a great story to tell. We all know Farm Rescue here. We're good friends of them at the station, and they just do wonderful work. They just celebrated their 800th rescue this past fall.
Yes, they are an amazing organization. So we're really happy to have him come and kick off our Central Dakota Ag Day. And so I'm just going to talk about a couple of the different breakout sessions. They're half-hour sessions, so there's a lot of different information here for anybody and everybody that's interested. I do want to highlight Kristen Simmons. So she's the new Carrington Research Extension Center research agronomist. So she just started in September, and she's going to give a research update. So if you haven't met her yet, that would be a good opportunity to get connected with her. Greg Endries, who is the NDSU Extension Cropping System Specialist out of Carrington, he always does a great job, and he's going to give an update with row crop production research as well. And then on the livestock side, Dr. Jerry Stucka, he's the NDSU Extension veterinarian. He's going to be talking about cow health and different emerging issues that are coming up. And then also Tim Petrie, he's the NDSU Extension livestock economist. He's going to give a cattle market outlook. And then lunch will be sponsored by the North Dakota Corn Utilization Council as well as the Soybean Council.
I wonder if they're having sweet corn that day. I think they might have some sweet corn.
I don't know.
Just curious. It's on the menu.
Yeah, no, I think you're on
honestly,
there.
I don't know.
Just thought I'd check.
Yeah.
Alicia, how long have you been doing or how long has the Central Dakota Ag Day been going on for?
I believe it's been 8 years that this program has been going together. So it was a program that started with gathering the neighboring counties around Foster County, where Carrington's at. We decided, hey, let's do a big egg day at the research center. So that's really how this got started, with all the different breakout topics and things.
And how have things been evolving over the years, over these past 8 years? What's changed from, say, year 1 and 2 to what you guys are planning for this year?
Well, it's really new this year is the egg life breakout session. So we've really always had a focus on agronomy and livestock, but the egg life section is really new this year. And one that I really want to highlight is the Stop the Bleed program. So that is going to be an hour-long session, where the other ones are half-hour sessions. But the Stop the Bleed program is really helping train people how to stop a bleed if an accident happens. Because as we all know, in rural North Dakota, you might be 20 minutes or an hour away from the hospital, and they're finding that a lot of times people weren't they were actually passing away on the way to the hospital because they were bleeding out. So that's really what that program is about. So that one I think is really important. And then we're going to be wrapping up. Our last keynote speaker is going to be Frayne Olson, who is a crop marketing economist with NDSU Extension, and he always does a great job, and people love listening to him talk. So he's going to wrap up at 2 o'clock, or from 2 to 3.
Okay, there's one session there that I want to know more about, and I happen to have read it on the agenda. And that one has to do with the rules if you are raising livestock and having them butchered so that you can sell. So like if you're butchering them through a local processor. Any insight into that one? Because, we keep teasing Dean that he's getting a few head of livestock and some chickens in the backyard, and I don't want him to get in trouble.
Don't forget the goats.
The goats.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you getting in trouble when you start your own little retail storefront on the porch.
Yeah, and that's Travis Hoffman is the one that's going to be doing that, and that really just kind of goes through some of the basic laws of how do you sell your own meat, because there is rules and regulations on how to do that. I guess as far as the specifics, I'm probably not as well rehearsed in that. So I encourage you to ask Travis, but it is one thing to bring into light is, if you are doing some of these things, just making sure that you're aware of some of the laws that are associated. And it all comes back to food safety is really where that comes from. So.
And Alicia, you said you deal with the 4-H, correct, with the youth?
Yep.
What kind of feedback have you gotten over the last few years? Are you seeing more an increase in the youth that are interested, or a decrease?
Well, what I really like about 4-H is there's really something for everybody. So the program is learning by doing. So I think sometimes when we think of 4-H, we typically think of the traditional 4-H program of showing livestock or maybe showing crop samples. But really, you can do anything in 4-H. And some of the other programs we're starting to get really involved with STEM programs, Lego building. There's a new engineering contest at the state fair where they get to make these different machines. And I think one of the other really probably most important things you can learn through 4-H is even leadership skills. I know personally I grew up in the 4-H program, and it's really helped me just being an officer in different organizations, learning how to run a meeting, and even just learning how to talk and present in front of people. So it's really a program for learning lifelong skills.
And one of those big programs through 4-H, at least the last few years, has been archery. So from what I can tell,
and shooting sports.
Yeah. So what's entailed in shooting sports, not just archery? What are kids doing? Is that something you're focusing on in Barnes County, or do you collaborate with other counties to do that?
So that's really kind of up to each county. If they have the volunteers, they do need to get certified. So right now we don't have an active program in Barnes County, but some of the other counties have a very active shooting sports program. So like you said, archery is one, air rifles another, and they have matches all across the state. And that season will be starting up here in about January. So and it's pretty busy. And then the judging teams get started too that time of year, so it's there's a lot going on with 4-H as well too.
Well, so Justin just had a baby this fall. Justin's wife had a baby this fall.
How do you know it wasn't me?
Well, you were gone for a few days.
I was gone for a little bit.
So, is he too young to get him started, baby Storm, or should we wait a little while?
Yeah, probably. So that's a good question. But the clover bud age is 5 to 7, and the age is always go by your September 1st, or the age that you are at September 1st. And then regular 4-H age is age 8 to 18, and the difference really between clover bud and regular 4-H is the competitiveness. So clover buds is non-competitive. We just want to get the kids to go through experiencing, say, achievement or the fair, or whatever it might be. And then with the regular 4-H age, then that's when it gets to be competitive, where they can win grand champion and go to the state fair and some of those things.
So Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, who is giving away a lot of money, is giving $50 million to the National 4-H Foundation. How much are you getting in Barnes County, Alicia? Good $20 million out of that? Or how's that? What's kind of check?
I wish. I don't know. Maybe I should be asking more questions, I guess.
Never turn down an opportunity, Alicia. Never. Is there any direction that's coming from National 4-H as to how some of that money might be doled out to the states?
That I don't know. It's a good question. We'll have to do some more asking.
Ask with a lot of zeros.
Yes.
How's the turnout been over the last handful of years down there for the Central Dakota Days? Has it been a good incline in people, or did you see a little hiccup in the road with all the COVID crap that was going on for a couple of years there? I mean, how's that looking on your guys' end?
Yeah, COVID kind of hurt it for a little bit. It was, pre-COVID, we had some pretty good numbers, probably about 75 or so. And then the year of COVID, we actually did it all online. And I don't know, that was okay. And then last year was really our first post-COVID year, and we probably had about 60 people. So the numbers were down a little bit last year, but, some people weren't quite ready to go to meetings yet either. So hopefully this year we can get back kind of on track.
Well, as you get back on track, what are those details again? Central Dakota Egg Day, date, time, location, and how can people find you and the Extension Service when they need to?
Yeah, so it's December 16th at the Carrington Research Extension Center. So coffee and donuts start at 9. The first keynote speaker starts at 9:30. We will have lunch, and then it wraps up at 3 o'clock. And if anybody wants to get a hold of or ask questions, Jeff Gale, he is the Foster County Extension Agent. So he's really been the one that's been our leader in this whole organizing. So he'd probably be the best contact with the Foster County Extension Office, and his phone number is 701-652-2581. Or you can always Google NDSU Extension Central Dakota Egg Day, and the webpage with all the information will pop up as well too.
That's awesome. And I can go ahead and post that on our Weather and Ag in Focus Facebook page. So if people want to click on that link and find it, they can. If we are coming over, which I'd love to say that we are, but we got a lot going on here. Although, guys, free lunch and donuts. Donuts.
We might be able to make something work out there.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll have to stop by and pick you up. All right. Well, and so Alicia, again, thank you for joining us today, helping us out and making sure that we are all on track with what's going on for Extension in North Dakota, because I think not everybody realizes how big that network is. Every county in North Dakota is represented by an Extension agent. We get a lot of help from North Dakota State University specialists, as you said, guys like Frayne Olson, Tim Petrie, et cetera, who are experts in their field and well recognized across the United States. So it's great to hear their ideas and opinions of what will happen for our outgoing markets. Speaking of markets, we ourselves are going to go take a chance to hear what the American Ag Network is saying with a market update. They'll bring us back for our last segment where we'll wrap up the weather, check how things are for all of us going forward, and planning for tomorrow's special.
You know what? We're going to try and give away. We're engaged too.
Are we today?
It's close to Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, you are so generous, Wysocki.
We'll have that in our last segment here coming up.
That sounds awesome. So we'll do that. Please stay with us after the American Ag Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Rohith, and I'm a junior at Fargo South. I moved here with my parents at an early age, and I plan to study civil engineering in college. The reason I'm so hopeful about my future is Legacy Children's Foundation. I want to thank the amazing donors who are complete strangers to me. I am amazed by their generosity. Because of them, Legacy Youth receives resources and positive relationships to become educated leaders. Find out more at LegacyChildren'sFoundation.com.
Well, President Trump has announced, and now Ron DeSantis is rising fast in the polls. Newsmax is conducting an urgent poll. Do you want Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis as your candidate in 2024? It's a big question. Newsmax wants to know what you think. Vote in the Newsmax poll, Trump versus DeSantis. Just text the word ZONE to 39747. That's ZONE to 39747. It only takes seconds. Let your voice be heard. Every day I tune into Newsmax for news I can trust. They're even beating CNN in some key ratings. So make the switch and vote in Newsmax poll on Trump versus DeSantis. Text the word ZONE to 39747. One more time, the word ZONE to 39747. And make the switch to Newsmax today. You'll love it.
When it's time to build outside the box, build with Thor.
Stan, my mother's coming to stay with us indefinitely.
I need a space for the boys. Where can we watch the big screen, play cards, eat wings, drink, and work?
Stan, there's no room in the garage for my garden tools.
Need more space, whether it's a granny flat, a man cave, a decked out shop condo, or a she shed, or a horse barn. They've gotten creative when it comes to thinking outside the box. Thor Buildings at thorbuildings.com.
Soybeans and meal fitters higher with wheat and corn moderately lower and livestock under pressure. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this closing market update. Well, as we take a look at the markets, outside markets exerted some bearish influence with ongoing concerns about slower economic activity ahead. Although the soybean meal market exploded to the upside on the day, and that pulled soybeans higher on the session as we surged on fresh sales to China. That strong soybean market led soybeans, and really just a lot of chart-related buying seen there. Corn largely caught in the middle as we saw more selling in wheat. Soybean oil as well continued to sell off there. It tried to go with beans and bean meal for a short time before reverting to the downside on the session. Meantime, cattle and hogs, losses there, triple-digit losses pretty much across the board as we see holiday demand waning and the cattle market and cash market weakness with cutouts down over $10 in the last 2 days. So again, a rough day in cattle and hogs. Final numbers, March corn down 3 1/4, 637 1/4. July corn down 3 1/2, 636. January beans up 17 1/4, 1455. March beans up 16 1/2, 1461 1/2. Bean meal, January up 1650 a ton, 448.60. January bean oil down 95 points, 61.62. March Chicago wheat down 10, 729. May down 11, 739 3/4. KC wheat for March down 11 3/4 at 830. Meantime, we saw that spring wheat March was down 4 3/4, 897 1/4. May down 3 1/4, 898 1/2. December live cattle down 167, 151.55. February down 220, 153.62. Feeder cattle for January down 197, 181.80. March down 225, 184.15. December hogs up 20, 82.27. But February down 360 at 86.92. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with Meteorologist Justin Storm and Ag Director Bridgette Readel. We want to thank you for joining us today. We got a weather trivia question, and if you can guess this answer, you will win a rain gauge. A nice, I don't even know if it's a stocking stuffer. It'd be a nice Christmas present, though.
It might be a stocking stuffer if you got a big sock.
So here's the question. Only 40% of the world's population has seen this. Again, only 40% of the world's population has seen this. What is it?
Oh, you guys hear that?
Yeah. So 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000. Again, only 40% of the world's population has seen this.
Dean didn't like my answer on break.
No, it's not the answer I thought. I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
And there goes all the keyboards.
I thought it was something else.
So, right. Tropical storm?
Let's just see if anybody knows the answer.
All All right,
We'll see.
We'll
But
see.
let's focus on the weather here.
Let's take a
We've
caller.
got a phone caller. All right.
Oh, what do you got?
Let's pick this up here. Hey, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your name and what's your guess?
An eclipse, Travis.
It is not.
No, it's not an eclipse. See, that's
right.
I thought it was that or something
thanks
else.
for calling,
That's a
Travis.
good answer,
That
though.
is a
I
good
like
answer.
Travis's answer.
All right, and welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. What's your name and guess?
This is Hal. How about the ocean?
No,
No,
that's
it's
not
not the
it.
ocean.
Again,
Good guess, Hal.
Only 40% of the world's population has seen this.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. What's your name and your guess?
Julie, I'm going to say snow.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. Congrats, Julie. How did you know that? Just curious. Did you
I
Google?
was listening to the coffee club.
Oh, the dirty coffee club
but
stole
I
our
sw-
trivia?
No, I switched it around.
Oh, you stole it from them?
Well, no, I switched
Dean,
it.
shame on you.
They worded it as 60% of the world's population has never seen this.
Yeah, look
I
at
switched it
that.
around. I figured I'd trick, only
But
40%.
you didn't trick Julie.
Yeah, I didn't
She
trick
got
Julie.
you.
Congrats, Julie.
Yeah, you a regular listener to Weather and Ag in Focus. I guess you've been listening to WDAY or WDAY for a while. If you're listening to the Coffee Club too.
Yes, I am. I listen to it most every day.
Awesome.
I'm glad to hear. Well, stay on the line, Julie. Our producer Jacob will get some more information from you on how you can claim that rain gauge. All right.
I figured.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
I figured Julie knew because she'd been out shoveling.
That might be too.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Northern Lights. Only 40% of the world's
Oh.
population has seen it, which means 60% hasn't. So I bet the
mean,
Northern
that's
Lights.
probably. I bet
the
you
Northern
it's
Lights
lower.
is less. I bet it's about 25.
Yeah.
Okay, but if most of us up here have seen it, we're just a small population
still
count
have
to
not.
begin with. What do you don't you
Well,
go outside
what?
at night?
How?
I still have not seen it up
We've
here.
had like 13 phenomenal events in the last 2 years that haven't happened in a decade, and
have not.
Dean's sleeping.
Well, I go
with-
to bed at 7, 8 at night. Well, 9, 10.
Right. Yeah.
midnight one all night.
Yes.
Staying up all
So,
night.
When I can see it from my living room, I'll just send you a
See,
text
you
message.
you live way out in the country. So
Yes,
I've
it's
got-
also
So you
I've
live
got
in
to
the
take
big
a
old
drive.
light bubble, Dean. We gotta bust you out of town,
I've
you
gotta-
city slicker.
And especially with all these animals you're getting in the backyard, people are not
Somebody's
going
The
gotta
city of
stay home to
Fargo
watch
is
'em.
the city of Fargo is going to get upset with you if you keep adding to this population. Yes, you can have 4 chickens, you can have a cow, but you can't have 4 chickens and a cow.
Well,
Dean.
how about you
How
just
many
keep it
goats?
under wraps?
Well, he's got one.
But you're going to need a bigger fence. But you should just move out of town.
Well, I just asked
I mean,
the,
not-
neighbor, I
not
asked
that
the
we-
neighbors if I could use their yard. They said, yeah. So
That guy from the Fargo City Council that listens to us is probably having like an aneurysm right now. He has what? It better be 40 feet from its neighbor's house.
Well, let's hit on the weather real quick here because we got a little bit of sunshine breaking through the FM area right now. Temperature is about 15 degrees. We'll warm up just a couple more degrees. It's a little colder in the Northern Valley, and they'll stay probably in the single digits to the lower teens. And then another round of snow comes through tonight. This will favor the Southern Valley from I-94 southward. Areas along the South Dakota border could see about 3 inches of snow, maybe a little more, while we'll see about an inch or close to that in the FM area, maybe a little less. And then the further north you go, you probably won't get much at all. Then we'll see a break in the action Thursday, Friday. Temperatures warm back into the 20s. And then near 30 on Saturday. Could see an isolated snow shower or two as the storm system passes to our south. And then we'll be keeping a very close eye. I just took a look at our latest European model. Looks like a pretty good shot at a decent-sized storm system for early next week. Monday, Tuesday looks to be the key time frame on that. And
So are we talking like Monday at noon, Monday at 3?
Oh, well, what, too far out to really.
yeah,
to
timing
tell.
on it. In fact, this
Too
could stretch
far
into
out.
Wednesday. This could be a elongated event.
Yeah, at this far out, this whole thing could change by a day, really.
It could change by day. It could go. It could change its track. On its current track, we would be set in for quite a snowstorm around here. Again, if it shifts further west, we could get in on the warm side. The last time it came through, it was to our south. We kind of got dry punched a little bit with it, but we did pick up, I believe, 13/100ths of an inch. It was a 2-day storm,
Something like
and
that.
that was rain. This time it's obviously colder, a little later in the season.
Yeah,
but
it was a 2-piece storm, actually, if
It
I
was,
remember
one piece
right.
north,
the main
one piece
energy
south.
went south, and we
Mhm.
got just a sliver of it, but it looks like it's holding together this go
So
around.
and again, some people will ask, well, if the LRC, why didn't it predict? Well, the storm is there, but you also have to look at other things. Remember, the LRC is a central piece of the puzzle, but we have blocking in both off the West Coast and in Greenland, and I don't believe we had that in the first cycle when this storm came through. That's why it allowed it to kind of split into two pieces. So this time it's not splitting; it's coming out as one out of the Rockies, and this could be a big one.
Should we name it?
Now, the Weather Channel already does that, and I hate that. That drives me nuts.
So I won't name it Dean. Okay,
No.
moving on.
Winter storm.
It doesn't have a lot of hot air.
Dean.
I'll save that for summer.
There you go.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, 2 to 5 o'clock for the LRC Winter Special. But let's switch back to an ag topic.
What you
Bridgette,
got?
I saw the email you sent me earlier in the week on topics you'd like to talk about throughout the week. And, I don't know if these are ag things because they sound sci-fi to me, but what's going on with laser weeders?
Dude, I have a picture of it.
I
and
gotta know,
everything.
what's a laser weeder? Is this like the big old taser gun? Now we're shooting laser beams?
Doesn't that look like a Zamboni? It's a Zamboni kind of looking like thing. It's a mid-sized tractor, actually. It's about 74 horsepower. Yeah, it's a Cummins diesel engine.
Look at that.
It drives down the field. It has 20 different integrated cameras on it, so it can also detect the difference between weeds and a crop. And while it's doing that, it has lasers that zap those weeds, and it's firing
It's
about
like Star Wars. Are these I was just gonna say, are these like plasma rifles and just pew, pew?
I don't have a picture
Die,
of it
weeds,
firing,
die.
but we could find out. This is by a company in Seattle. Their name is Carbon Robotics, and they are firing every 50 milliseconds, and they are firing at a plant's meristem. So if you think about how a plant grows, and let's just use this fake tree right
I
here
like
in front of
that
me.
tree.
Okay,
Don't
right at the
zap it.
center where the new leaves are coming out, that's its meristem point, and it's going to zap right in there on the growing
Oh, so it's
point.
got no growing point.
Right,
Look
and
at
so that plant can't continue to grow.
And then you come back around with the old taser and kill the stalk.
Oh, you could, but if you knock out its growing point, she ain't,
It ain't
going
gonna go
anywhere.
anywhere.
No, so
Oh,
yes,
interesting.
the laser weeder to go along with the flamethrower that already exists.
Yeah.
And the one that produces electricity and zaps them. So, guys, I'm giving you all sorts of
I
alternatives
think
for
I'm
weed control.
ditching radio weather and going straight to sci-fi weed control.
Now, I will not lie. My first thought is I can't wait to have the newest big sprayer like that big Fent that I sat in out at the fairgrounds.
So cool.
But I'm okay with some of these cool things, too, that are coming along, and more folks want to use them. This one happens to be literally being test-driven out in Washington State in the organic markets.
Awesome. And then there was one other one I wanted to get to, but we don't have enough time. We were
Tomorrow.
talking about so many fun things. Here's a little tease for you. Here's another sci-fi one for you, Bridgette.
Okay, what you got?
Hacking insect signals.
I'm going to tell you tomorrow how we
What?
interfere with their sex life.
Well, all right then.
Well,
there
this
we
should be
go.
fun.
Now, you know what? Let's just eat
not
Jay's
tomorrow.
show. Let's-
That'll be Thursday.
No, we'll do this on our show before Gary comes tomorrow.
Okay, if we have time.
We will.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
we're making time.
I have your attention now.
Should be interesting. Well, tomorrow, 2 to 5 o'clock, LRC Winter Special. Mark it on your calendar. Join us live right here on WDAY Radio, or watch us on Facebook or YouTube, as well as our website, WDAYradionow.com. We're out of time. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1 FM. Fargo-Moorhead.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. Here's what's